go.
3, 2, 1. We're live.
We're live.
That's what we're on. We're on the fourth podcast. Third or fourth podcast. Still not got a name for the podcast. But basically, the way the direction it's going is we're talking to independent business owners more than anything. I think we're going to go in that direction and talk more about creating a life for yourself. Create your own business, something you're passionate about. That's why I've got one of my best friends, Alex Matvienko, in today from Elite Boxing. If we can get him off his phone.
Hello everybody.
Basically, me and Matt met each other, I think, how many years ago now when we first started boxing?
It must have been about 20 years ago. I went down to the Bolton Lads and Girls Club. I was at another gym with, I was at Castle Hill. Yeah. So I just ventured down to the Lads Club, which I've been in previous, and then there was this little whippet in the corner throwing punches with his chin in the air, walking around with carpets under his armpits.
I remember when Matt first come down, it came with a trench coat on, proper big black curly hair, with black marks under his eyes, proper stoner. You were a stoner then, weren't you?
No,
were you still smoking weed?
No.
When you turned up?
No. When we were kids, I used to smoke a bit of weed, and then obviously I was training and fighting, and it wasn't clever. And my mum passed away, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to stop. So I stopped, and I started running every day, and it sort of inspired me to like live a better life. I'd had Callum as well.
You already had Callum?
I don't think I'd. No, yeah, I'd just had Callum as well. Yeah, so I had Callum at a young age because obviously I'm only 21 now. So
how old is he, Callum?
Callum's 19.
Is he? Fuck
yeah. 19.
That makes me feel old.
Physically 19, but mentally about 12.
What's he up to, Callum?
Callum's he's done really well considering he's at university. Considering having me at a young age as his role model and just walking around Bolton with us like eating frankers and wondering how we're going to make our first million.
What's he doing? Is he doing acting? And
yeah, so he's followed. I tried everything with him. I tried boxing. I tried football. His football skills were the same as mine. His boxing skills, he were probably better. But we ended up just taking. I had a friend who had an acting school, so we took him down and he loved it. So now he's like the next Peter Kay.
Is he still doing that?
Yeah. So if there's any casting people out there and they want a funny guy, good looking like me and everything.
What is it? College doing it?
He's at university now.
Yeah, so basically we met in the Lads Club 20 years ago, started boxing together, we boxed amateur together for 10 years or something along them lines, weren't it? And then I quit boxing, got fat, while Matt carried it on, turned professional.
He's still fat.
Now he's got fat, and I've turned... No, but obviously Matt was my coach, ended up being my coach when I decided to turn professional. Remember when I turned up at the gym, he said, Matt, I want to turn pro.
Yeah, Danny turns up about 14 stone. And, it's something that I get asked all the time, like, I want to go pro, I should be pro, my granddad, he was a top fighter, and blah, blah, and you get it daily. Everyone wants to be a professional, but no one wants to put the hard work in. So I was like, you really want to do it, Danny? He was like, yeah. So I went, all right, get the gloves on. So I was training, and we had a spar. Caught him with a few good shots and that, and he sat there on the canvas knackered at the end, and he went, I still want to do it. So I said, all right, let's do it. So I think you had 7 pro fights, was it? 8 pro fights, unbeaten, beat some good lads. He got recognised on the circuit, people were speaking highly of him. He went down Ricky Hatton, sparred Ricky Hatton when he was making his big comeback, and he sparred Terry Flanagan, who's a world champion now.
That was brutal. So, brutal. I think out of all the people that sparred Tommy Coyle, he was tough. I remember Tommy Coyle, when I first turned pro, and he said, right, I'm going to take you down to see Steve, and Steve wants to see you spar, and I've not been training for long. Anyway, you're going to be sparring Tommy Coyle, he's got about a week left before his fight, and he beat the shit out of me. I remember coming back when he had the old shop, and we had a room upstairs, he had to go upstairs in a dark room, he had the worst concussion ever, put himself in a room and sleep in the dark for like an hour, because I'd been beat up that bad. But obviously I did all right because Steve said he was signing him, didn't he?
Yeah, so and that's what you have to put your body through, and people don't see that aspect of the boxing world. But it's the same in anything that you do. You've got to really put the effort in. Everyone's quick enough to say they'll do it. to really do it. Yeah, it's a lot different.
I was talking about that. You've got to love it, because if you don't love it, you're not going to do it.
No, you're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to be motivated.
I love fighting. I love the results of fighting. Obviously, especially when I was talking about it on the last podcast about when I was younger, and everyone was like, "Oh, he's a boxer." It was a cool thing to me when at the time. I'd never been cool until I started boxing. So I think I loved that side of it. And then when I got my first fight, I absolutely loved. Even though I actually lost my first fight. Remember my first fight in
Danny Wolfinger?
Yeah, no. I beat Danny Wolfinger. When Paul threw Terling, because it was his first fight. It was his first fight in the corner. And it was my business partner, Paul. He was my old boxing coach. Went down for the first fight, and I was winning the fight, but I put my hands down. The referee had said stop. I put my hands down, and the guy. In fact, you might be right. Actually, it might have been Danny Wolfinger in the first fight. I don't know if you remembered that. But yeah, I think
I'm a boxing encyclopedia.
And
full of useless knowledge.
He hit me after the referee had said stop, and he caught me clean with my hands down, snapped my head back, and Paul panicked in the corner because it was his first corner ever, and he threw the towel in, didn't he? And then my mum was in the crowd, and my mum hates coming and watching me fighting because she gets mad passionate about it. She ended up nearly fighting with Danny Wolfinger's mum in the crowd. So yeah, that was my first fight with Paul and Finger. But then I went back and I quit boxing. Matt carried on boxing. How many fights did you have professional?
19 professional bouts.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't think you had that many.
19.
You won them all.
I lost one for an headbutt. I slipped by accident.
Did you get disqualified?
No, I didn't. What happened was I dropped him in the second. The ref didn't give him a count, and then in the fifth he kept coming in with his head. He was a clever fighter. He had a very good coach in Glyn Roads. Everything was clever what they were doing.
It was at Robin Park, wasn't
it? Yeah, it was at Robin Park. I'd done a load of tickets, about 300 tickets, 400 tickets. Place were electric, and he just kept coming in with his head. And me being an emotional fighter, I've gone straight back at him in the fifth. And the ref took a point off. I lost a fight by 1 point.
The thing was, it wasn't as though you'd gone back and sneaked an head in. You literally went across the ring and stuck an head on him.
I just lost
the most blatant headbutt you've ever seen.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking. I just wanted a street fight.
What's that fight called? What was he called? The opponent?
He was called Lee Edwards. He was a good fighter.
It's be on YouTube, won't it?
I don't think. Well, there's some footage of it. Yeah, there is some footage on a few stories. Yeah, it was a cracking fight.
The headbutt was like.
I know. I was
the most blatant headbutt.
But I think I just wanted I wanted to get the gloves off there and just have a fight. That's all that was.
That was the only one you lost.
Yeah, it was like a Mike Tyson thing.
Did you draw one as well?
Yeah, I drew two. I actually drew with Ryan Ashworth, which Frank Maloney, now Kelly Maloney. Now he's quite fit now. Kelly Maloney.
Is he still Kelly Maloney?
Yeah, he actually said it was one of the best 4-round fights he's ever had on his show. That was Ryan Ashworth. He was a good fighter. Fought Martin Murray. Fought a load of top kids as an amateur. Won everything. So that was a top fight. That was just a wall. That was on David A undercard or something. Or Jamie Moore. No, it was Jamie Moore's undercard. That was a really good fight.
You didn't like fighting on the Sky shows?
No, Sky used to put me on dead late. I did loads of tickets, but it ended up my downfall because then when I got the British title shot, Sky was moaning that I hadn't had enough coverage on their shows. Yeah. So that sort of put me off, and after 19 fights I decided to just sort of pack up and put all my eggs into running the gym better and making it a better...
Did you have the gym while you was still pro?
I had the gym when I was amateur. I used to teach at the lads club, didn't I? I used to do your corner, did Change Singleton versus Terry Flanagan, I did Bosworth versus corners.
You didn't have elite boxing?
No, well, I had that gym and then... I would teach at the lads club and then I stopped teaching. And when I'd stopped teaching, I'd gone to Castle Hill. And when I'd gone to Castle Hill, I was training with Dave Langorn and Cushy and Robin White. And it come up, Cushy ran me one day and said, "This gym's for sale, do you want to buy it?" And I was like, "Yeah, go on then." So I bought it, and I weren't really teaching then. So Mez and Lance just said, "Oh, we start doing some classes at night." So I started a Tuesday and Thursday night at 7 o'clock.
Because I remember, go back to, you wanted to buy the gym originally. Your idea was to buy the gym and just let it run.
Yeah, I was the whole part of me buying the gym was just to fund it, to be a silent partner. Because Sean, who's Foggy, he didn't have a deposit to buy the gym. So I looked at it and I thought, yeah, it's all right. I can train here as well instead of just walking around town. So we bought the gym and Foggy was running it whilst watching The Simpsons, and he had his Akitas running around pissing on everyone's clothes and that.
That's what I wanted to say. Obviously, we want to talk about starting businesses and stuff like that, and obviously your idea of starting that business, because you love boxing and stuff like that, but it wasn't a boxing gym, was it? It was more Thai.
It was a Thai boxing gym, and to be honest, there wasn't many boxing gyms. Tommy he had LOL ABC, then he went at Lads Club, he had a Castle Hill.
Amateur gyms were
in and out.
Business,
yeah, they weren't. And they weren't a business. They were just, these were for the kids, which is brilliant. It got it out me and you. And then there was Newbury, and then there was Dave Langorn was a Little Oak, and then he went to Castle Hill. Yeah, John Hart's been a lot of the gyms around Bolton, Smithles. He's been Castle Hill. He's been Lads Club. But these were pretty much the boxing people. There were like 3 or 4 people when we was growing up, like Eddie from Newbury, Tommy Battle, Dave Langorn, and John Hart. Yeah. There's quite
John Wayne from this area came to this area for us, didn't he?
Yeah. So like, we were lucky in that respect. There weren't many gyms, but there were good guys in it for the youth and that. And like you say, it weren't a business. Now there's a lot of businesses, a lot of boxing gyms. The way I did it, I'd done it by accident because I started 1 or 2 classes. They were just PT type classes, just to teach the lads and to get them fit and that. But it's ended up now like a 14-hour gym. It's open 14 hours. We open at 7 a.m. We don't shut till 9 p.m. at night.
And it's one of the more successful personal training boxing things. There isn't many, and because they open and they close, don't they?
Yeah.
What makes you different? What makes you?
It's quite hard to get to the level where we've got to open up every day. Open up rain, sleet, or snow. Like Foggy's brilliant. Yeah. That gym's open. Rain, sleet, or snow. 5 foot in snow and it's open. Yeah. And you still get people turning up. People love the gym. Yeah. The gym's different for many reasons. We've got some very good coaches. We're all qualified. We're not a PT who's just done a 6-week course or a weekend course. We're all like ex-fighters or current fighters. We've got a lot of hands-on experience. I've been lucky to have Oliver Harrison under my wing, and Gennady Golovkin been in the ring with this guy, and all these top guys have been involved in world title fights. Jamie Moore's always at the gym. You see Ricky Hatton down at the gym. There's some very famous people that come down, and then we've got our own good fighters: Osman Aslam, Jack Flatley, Jack McGann, Chris Jenkinson, the busiest road warrior in Bolton. He's had 70
Still
fights.
Chris?
Yeah, he fights all the time. I think he's just had 3 fights on where work. He fights regular. And that's another reason why it's successful, because there's not many places you can go and train. You might be in a session with a pro like Luke Blackledge, former Commonwealth champion. So there's that aspect. We know what we're doing. You're learning. It's definitely in a learning environment because there's so many good coaches. It's a big thinking pool. The coaches like Scott and Tom and
set amount of people in each class as well.
Yeah, the classes are limited, so I think that's another good reason why people like this.
Personal,
this morning there was like 1 to 2 people in every class. People are getting hands-on, pad work and stuff like that, getting trained like professionals, even if they just keep fitters. But they're learning the art, the sweet science. If they're coming to get fit, they're getting fitter. We just had a lad then, he trains twice a week. He's lost 2 stone.
So it's not just a boxing gym. It is a boxing gym, but it's not just for someone who wants to learn boxing. It's to keep fit, lose weight, any kind of. That's basically what you are, aren't you?
Yeah, we cater for everybody. We have a 3 over 50s class. We have people who have Parkinson's come and train with us. Michael's over, he's 60-year-old. He's got Parkinson's. It's helped him massively. We have Chantel who's got Parkinson's. She's 41. We've seen a massive improvement in her physically, mentally. She's much more confident. And we've got loads of people like that. We just cater for everybody. We've got an amateur boxing team. We've got the professional team, as you know.
How does the as a business? How does the amateur boxing team work?
The amateur team. If you're on the amateur team, you get extra sessions. You pay. You pay less. You get extra sessions. We have the free sparring, obviously, as well.
Because there was never obviously amateur boxing. There's never any money in amateur boxing. Never,
so if I didn't have elite boxing, I wouldn't be able to have Halliwell ABC. Halliwell ABC is funded by elite boxing. Halliwell ABC is based in elite boxing, so we have to, all the bills for Halliwell ABC, your water, your electric, getting new equipment, the ring and stuff, it's just all funded. Halliwell ABC is like a charity towards, Elite's a charity for Halliwell ABC.
That's then also feeding your future professionals.
Well, yeah, same again. The professionals, you don't really make no money. Like when you use fight, you know, I get 10% of your wage if you was on 900 quid, 1200 quid.
Yeah.
You know, what it's 100 quid by the time I paid for all my petrol.
You do that more for passion, doing
yeah, I don't make no money out of that really. You know, it's just it's 20 fights in London next week, and I've got to, you know, and I get 100 quid for it. I'm not doing it for the 100 quid. I just do it because, like I said, I'm passionate about the sport.
I think that's one of the biggest reasons your gym's successful more than any other gyms, because not only is just yourself is madly passionate and loves boxing, obviously that comes across in the training, but also all the rest of the team that are there are also passionate and they love boxing, and you can, even though you can't see it physically, you can feel that when you're in a gym like Elite, the atmosphere.
Yeah, I think
that's what makes it different. People do it for the money, and if you're going to go and do it for the money, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
And it's the same, like we was one of the first podcasts we talked about the kitchen. We opened the kitchen to make some extra money, and it didn't work because I wasn't passionate about it. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't want to do the hard work. You would never get your Elite Boxing. The members would never be as busy if it wasn't for the amateur team and for the professional team. You know, the word of it.
Yeah,
Obviously, I brought a lot of people to the gym when I turned professional at your gym, and so it all feeds each other, and that's all from your passion, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a big sort of posterior chain. You know, you can't have a weak link in there. The coaches have got to be passionate, they've got to be disciplined and timekeeping. You know, the sessions have got to be good. We've got to know what we're doing. You know, we've got the professionals, and we're lucky. We've got a lot of contracts. Like this week, we're going to have some class sparring. I mean, today we had some class sparring. Jack Flatley and Jack McGann just punched 10 bells out of each other. They both look like a piece of Swiss cheese. I've just been with Osman Aslam. He's just sparred Paul Butler's at Joe Gallagher's. This afternoon we're down at Amir Khan's again. But
yeah, he's sparring Amir, right?
Yeah, all our amateur kids. I've got loads of amateur kids coming up, you know, and it helps them. It gets them off the street. There's a couple of kids like Danish who's now a coach at the gym. You know, he was a little fat naughty kid. He's a tall, skinny naughty kid. But he's a good fighter. And Joe Goosen, who was from America, was speaking really highly of him.
No.
Yeah, well, Virgil's not so well, so they've got Joe Goosen. Right. So he's there, and then this other kid's there who's doing the pad work for Joe. And they're like, wow, this kid's really good. Yeah, and
he was sparring Amir.
He was sparring Amir. He's not really had many amateur fights. You know, it's not like he's an Olympian. Like there's Olympians down there when we're sparring and everything else. But Danish has only had a few amateur bouts, but we've had him from scratch.
He's doing well.
He's doing really well. Yeah,
what you've had Danish from not?
Yeah, we've had him from scratch. Yeah, no boxing. We've had guys like Chris Shepherd, no boxing experience, went on to beat Zelfa and stuff.
What would you prefer?
I think it's quite easier, to be honest, because when they're from other gyms, they've got bad habits. Wow, yeah, and sometimes they're a little bit like, they question what you're asking. Oh, well, I do it this way, and you know, sometimes they're doing it wrong a lot of times, or sometimes. So it's not ideal. So I do like having someone from scratch, as well as being able to see them achieve what they do.
Yeah,
you know.
Right from nothing.
Yeah,
and that's obviously that. Then obviously, I think a lot of gyms. I don't know about. There's a lot of gyms, a lot of coaches. They get people from a really strong amateur background, turn them professional, and then get all the credit.
Massively, yeah. I mean, the amateur coaches, like you've got Tommy Battle, who travels up and down the country every week, Dave Langorn, John Hart, you know, they're passionate about the sport.
It's always the professional boxing coaches that get the credit in the end.
Well, what happened was they used to turn over, like I turned over with Oliver, but he never trained me in the with Humphrey, he never trained me in the basics. So what they used to say was like, you know, you're already, we just sort of polish you up and tweak you up, which is a bit unfair. So these days now you've got a lot of amateur coaches who've got the professional licence, like Tommy Battle. So he's took Jack Cullen from a good amateur up to a good professional now. So luckily, like the coaches can still get the credit and still be part of the career, whereas in the past, like you say, you couldn't do it. You know, and coaches wasn't doing it. I think they're all a bit more.
Yeah, you wasn't allowed to do it.
Yeah, you weren't allowed to do it. You know, and I think some of them were a bit unconfident about doing it. But
when did that change?
It changed a couple of years ago.
When we were amateur, you weren't like pros in the same gym.
No. So you know, you weren't allowed pro. There's always loads of rules and regulations, and they're changing them all the time. But at one stage,
Jack Cullen.
Jack Cullen's very good, really good fighter.
What about the fight between him and Jack Flatley? What happens?
No comment.
Go on, what do you think?
Well, I think it's, you know what I don't like? I don't like everyone hyping it up and going on about
That's
it.
That's what it's sports, that's
of
course. The business side.
No, totally. But these two need to meet when it's enough money, because these two are going to knock 10 bells out of each other. You know, it's an hard sport.
And how far off to that?
I don't know. It'd just be good for them to get, you know, some good
Get
money.
a title.
Yeah, you know, everyone's saying
And
they should
then
fight now. Why fight a 6-rounder now, an 8-rounder, 10-rounder?
Definitely.
Why fight for not good money? Why not wait till they're both like at the top of the game?
Did they not spar anymore though?
No, they haven't sparred.
Because for that reason, because they're going to be fighting.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to meet at some stage. You know, they will meet, but I just don't think it's healthy of meeting now. You know, because there'll be a lot of passion. There's a lot of passion in that ring that day, and a lot of like, what's the word? You know, there's going to be a lot on the line for them both. You know, it's going to be a serious fight. It needs to be on TV. They need to be getting paid well. You know, we need to build it up. They're both still young in their careers.
Did Jack Flatley, he's got a title shot coming up? Or
Jack's had a couple of big fights. He just keeps falling through on him. It's a shame, really.
He had one coming.
He's had, you know, we're trying to get Jack up the rankings and, you know, fight these bigger names. Like, Jack Cullen's a great fighter. He's not got a big name yet, you know, and if we fought him, he probably wouldn't be on TV and stuff like that, you know. So Jack's like been trying to get a couple of the Frank Warren fighters, because he's signed with Frank, and that's how Frank does it. He pits them against each other. Yeah. So Jack's been, you know, they've come with a few names, you know, where he's a bit out of his depth on paper. You know, these better guys.
Jack Flatley.
Yeah, you know, these opponents, you know, the better guys, they've got titles, they're more experienced and stuff.
Well, he beats one of them.
Yeah, Jack's hungry for that. Yeah, Jack's hungry for that. He wants the ranking.
The thing is, a lot of people don't understand about professional boxing is the business side of it, having to sell tickets.
Exactly.
If you don't sell tickets, you don't get the chances that other people. Or you do get the chances, but it's always against someone who's already up there, and you've got to have a bit of luck to win the fight. I think people don't understand how difficult. The reason I love fighting. I'd probably fight tomorrow if I didn't have to worry about selling tickets. If I didn't have to worry about doing a 650 quid medical. Yeah. It's a nightmare. Getting sponsors.
That's exactly the same for me.
And not only that, diet.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
For every fighter struggles with diet.
It's the worst.
You know, there's not many who don't struggle with diet.
It's the worst, isn't it? It's like you have to get yourself skinny as I.
You've got to be really disciplined.
I look back at pictures, I think, fuck me, I could smack it.
You're putting your body through hell.
When it came to weighing in day, I got from 14.5 stone, we got down to 10 stone 2, didn't we?
Yeah.
The lightest, light welterweight. That was like, I look back at pictures, I was in top shape, I was fit as a fiddle, but for me, I felt like a smackhead on that, I was that fit. But that's the diet side of it. I mean, obviously you can put up with that for a fight, but when it comes to ticket sales, that's the hardest part. And you used to do really well ticket sales.
Yeah, well, I was quite lucky. I was always quite popular in Pullman.
Don't know about that.
for the good and bad reasons, but no, I always had quite a lot of friends from Farmworth up to Horwich, you know, all over the place, and I used to sell quite a lot of tickets. So I used to just bully people.
It's just as much graft as the training.
Yeah, it's harder to be honest. I remember
chasing.
I remember one time I weighed in for a title fight. I jumped back in the car and I was driving around still delivering tickets. Well, now I say to my fighters, listen, stop now. You know, that day of the fight, the day before the fight, just stop.
But the problem you've got is if you don't do that and you don't sell the tickets, you don't get the promotion that you deserve. Somebody like Steve Wood, he does. Obviously, he's a businessman at the end of the day. He does put people on and it costs him money sometimes to put things on. And there's a few people like that, but it's few and far between where you have to realistically sell a load of tickets to be able to get the opportunity to get on TV or be able to get the title fight, something like that. And they don't realise. I think Jack Cullen is doing well with tickets.
Jack Cullen does really well. He's another popular lad.
Yeah,
I mean, he's lucky because he comes from the village, and you guys are all dead tight, aren't you? Yeah. You're all like related, aren't you?
Yeah. 6 feet.
Everyone just one big family.
No, I think that'll help him. Obviously, he's a very talented lad. He's a great boxer, and the ticket sales on top of that will get him to a level possibly faster.
It gives you better opportunities.
Possibly faster than Jack Flatley, because Jack struggles to sell tickets.
Jack struggles to sell tickets.
The good thing to do with talent, is it? That it's just obviously ticket sales.
The good thing with our gym is it is like one big family, and there is a fair few hundred members.
Yeah.
So like the village sits together brilliantly. You know, our gym tends to stick together. So the good thing is we've had some great sponsorships throughout the gym, and a lot of the guys, they actually, you know, look after Jack and they buy tickets and stuff. And you know, he had sponsors when he was in the ABAs. You know, I was prepping the food, and you know, we had good sponsorships to help buy the food. We had, you know, we had money coming in for pay for the hotels and stuff, and usually it comes out of my pocket. But you know, the good thing for Jack is had that help.
He's still sponsored by NutriBar.
Yeah, he gets his food from NutriBar.
Cushy,
Click Energy. He sponsors him. I think he sponsors Jack Cullen as well.
Has he started sponsoring Jack?
I think so. He may do. I'm not sure. I know he sponsors a couple of people. I thought he did. Yeah, I think he does. Yeah, and then there's the accountants on Charlie New Road, Cowgills, Cowgills, Stuart Stead sponsors him.
What do they do for him? Give him money for that?
They pay him monthly. They pay him monthly. So we've got Simon Merritt. He looks after him. He's got a big. He's like a thingy company that come in when the company goes bust. Right. They come in and rip everything out. Yeah.
Well, so if anyone's got a company that do want to sponsor any of the boxers, get in touch with Matt at Elite Boxing, because it is a good way of getting your name out there, because obviously starting to get on the Sky TV shows and stuff like that, isn't it? So that'd be good if you can get sponsors. And not only that, it's good to support.
It helps. Yeah. You know, you're helping a young person reach a goal. Like Danny said, it's a hard sport. You know, you've heard Danny telling you stories of sparring these professionals and trying to sell tickets. And you know, if you're passionate about boxing, or you're passionate about changing one person's life, you know, get involved and you can change one.
I dealt with from Andy, you know, from Southerns. He's helped me out a lot with business. He sponsored me, and he didn't do it because he needed promotion for his business. He did it because he was a mate about mine, and knew it helped me with the actuals. Because sometimes if you don't sell enough tickets, you have to fucking pay to fight sometimes. Yeah. It's crazy, it's unbelievable.
It's an hard sport that people have got to be aware when you're going into the professional boxing. There's a lot to sacrifice, and you know, it's not easy. People turn up at the gym all day, I want to turn professional, and you're like, that's why I said about Danny putting the gloves on that time. You know, you've got to make sure you really do want to do it, otherwise.
Not only is it hard, physically hard, but also like said, stress and money. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Yeah. There's no money in it.
No, you spend money.
You've got to eat well. You've got to train hard, and you've got obviously you need to work as well. That's why a lot of successful boxers, a lot of talented boxers, will never be successful boxers because of the business side of it. Yeah. People don't understand. Right. Not only that, I want to ask you a couple of questions while on the podcast about business. I want to know. Obviously, we got started. You got your business. You got a business loan to get Elite Boxing originally. I got a business loan to start this split. So I've had 2 loans to start this split. Because obviously there's a lot of people that want to start their own businesses and don't know where to start. So did you have a business plan when you get your business loan?
No. I got help with buying the business through the guy who owned the business previously, who I was buying it off. He helped get everything in sort of check. So it was quite easily smooth, to be honest. I was 27 and I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. I was 26 and I think we was just out and about, bumming about every day.
Not really we spent every day in town, in Frankers, buying DVDs, hanging around thinking how we're going to make money, how we're going to build a new business. And I remember the days from then to both having good successful businesses now. That's what people need to know. How did you get started? And obviously it's a lot of hard work in between them years. Yeah. It's not just automatically happening to successful businesses.
It was just about being in the right place. So Cushy come and said, listen, there's this gym, I can't really get it, but why don't you get it? And I was thinking, you know what, I'll buy it and I'll just be there. I'll be a silent partner, it'll bring me some income. So I didn't really have a business plan, and what happened was it didn't really go the way I wanted it. So I wanted Sean to run it, and Sean's a good guy, he's a brilliant person, but business minded, he's not the best. Yeah. So I was watching I was looking at the books and I'm thinking, this ain't right, and that's not right, and we're losing money in here. And to be honest, the bank, I got a business loan and the bank's interest was extortionate. I remember the first month, it was like $1,000. I wasn't really that interested. I was just more interested.
You don't know what you're doing, you just say it's a loan's a loan, let's have it.
Yeah, so I thought I was loaning and paying £500 a month back, but when I got my first got the first bill, it was something like £1,000, and I was like, well, why is it £1,000? And I looked, and the interest on it was obviously £500, and I was like, how do these people think we're going to make any money? And so I left it anyway. I thought the gym's running right, and Foggy always had the door open, always running, but I think he sort of thought, well, you know, I'm a partner now, I can sit back a bit and take my foot off the gas, and the gym started deteriorating a little bit. We started losing a few customers. The guy I bought it off, I didn't read the contract properly, he tried reopening another gym. You know, and I'd done it really naive, but the good thing about it, it's taught me a lot about business, and now I'm in a different position. I'm in quite a strong position where I understand business a lot more. You know, I could mentor someone because of all the problems, because everything's trial and error. And luckily, if Nigel hadn't tried ripping me off, I wouldn't have learned half of the stuff that I learned then. And it just shows it's not just people on the street that rip people off. You know, these guys in suits could be worse. So definitely look into opening places, but you've got to read your contracts properly. You've got to be really aware that, you know, there's some. You might be a genuine person, but that doesn't mean the person you're dealing with is genuine.
I'm still worse for that. I'm still, even now, when it comes to getting a loan, I can't be asked reading. That's why I've got Paul,
exactly.
Business partner, because that's what his thing. He's into, obviously, he'll look into things properly, whereas me, I'll just sign it because I can't be asked reading it.
Yeah, and obviously you're not very clever, you know, so that's probably another reason. No, but, you know, it is quite boring. We're quite, you know, we're entrepreneurial type people. We just want to get stuck in, you know, and it can get quite boring looking at contracts and dealing with stuff, you know. But luckily, when you've got the right team around you, like you say, you've got Paul, I've got good people around me, you know, and people want to help you. It makes life a lot easier. You can spend your time doing other things then that you're good at.
Running business and your passion, working on your passion. Obviously, for me, that's art and design and tattooing. For you, that's boxing. So you can focus on. So, do you have anyone in place now that helps run business side?
Well, yeah. I mean, elite boxing isn't the only thing that I do now. So I've got a couple of other businesses that over the years, you know, and I've always worked hard because I wanted to be retired for when I was about 40, even though I wouldn't be.
Now.
I know.
How old are you now?
25.
How old are you now?
21.
You feel 40 now. So
I'm not 40 yet.
Fucking look 40.
But I do today because I went out a weekend. But
you know, you must be close.
I'm near 40. I'm near. So. I've been lucky because, like, on a couple of the businesses, I've got good people around me, and they've been to university doing business studies. You know, they might not be the best practically, even though they think they are, but on paper, like doing stuff, you know, business plans, like you're saying, so on. They're brilliant at it, and you learn a lot from other people. You are your surroundings. You hang around.
One of the biggest things I learned about having your own business is. Not trying to do it all myself. I mean, obviously the same with you when you've started Elite. You can't just rely on one person, or you can't just do it all yourself.
Well, you've got to find yourself a good team. You do have to find yourself a good team, and you've got to keep checking on that team, and you've got to have, you know, regular business meetings. You've got to go through stuff. Everything's got to be.
And you've got to communicate.
Communication.
But obviously, I remember when you first started with Foggy. Foggy's a different person. I think Foggy's a different person since he had Cole.
Yeah.
I think back in the day, I remember when you first started with the business and you didn't want to have that conversation with Foggy where it was like, you're not doing enough, you're not doing this, you're not doing that.
It's not nice to hear, it's not nice to say,
You've got to do it.
But you've got to do it, otherwise.
And once it's said, and it's just like, Jesus, I've got a weight off my shoulders. I've had the same with Paul.
Yeah.
I've had times where I thought, you know, I need to talk to Paul about this, but it's an awkward situation. Because you're mates as well, it makes it even harder. I think that's one of the biggest dangers of business. Starting a business with a friend, you've got to say, right, this is our friendship and this is our business relationship, and they've got to be kept separate. It's difficult to sit there and have that conversation.
You've got to keep it separate.
Even with your coaches, but it's the same because you all become mates, and then you could like shouting at them for not turning up on time and stuff like that. It's awkward. But that's a really important part of getting that conversation and actually sitting them down and saying, listen, this is the problem. You're not doing this properly, blah blah. This is business side. What about? So obviously we've got pros and cons of having your own business. What would you say is your biggest struggle been having the business?
Building a good team is quite hard. Building a good team because, like at Elite, we've got high standards. So you know, we're really picky, particular. I mean, it's a trade. No one can see. I know everyone thinks that they're a boxing coach, but to find a good boxing coach it's quite hard. So what I've done is I've trained most of my coaches up from scratch, or they've done, like Scott's been an ex-professional fighter, but most of mine have, we trained them up from scratch. So it's been good. Seeing that building a team is really important.
And that's been one of the hardest things. Finding the right people.
I find that in anything, not just in the gym, but in anything. You might be in here working when you had the cafe, or you got tattooists. Building a good team is really hard.
That's the hardest part of running the tattoo studio is obviously having the right artist, because it'd be easy if you was owning a business where you could just get them 10 a penny. Like boxing coaches, not 10 a penny. Good boxing coaches are 10 a penny, but not good boxing coaches. The same with tattoo artists. There's a million tattoo artists out there.
Exactly.
Most of them are shite. You know what I mean? So it's like trying to get someone good in.
So so you're building that team. I found that's one of the hardest bits, definitely.
So what do you look for in a person?
In a person, you want someone who's. I mean, they've got to be willing to learn. There's nothing worse than trying to teach someone to do it your way, and they're like, no, you do it this way, and you're like, no, I've had this gym 14 years, I know how it runs, and I know what I'm doing. But you get someone who you've just employed, and they start trying to change, you start trying to change everything, but you don't change something that's not broken, just keep doing it that way. So I find a good listener, and obviously timekeeping is very important. You've got to be there before your students.
You've got to find someone who fits in.
Yeah, someone who's vocal. Yeah, someone who's vocal, who's got a bit of wit about them. When people train, they want to have a laugh as well. They don't want to be going thinking, I'm not looking forward to this. And luckily at our gym, a lot of the guys who teach are like stand-up comedians and stuff. You'll be stood there and you start laughing at the guy on the mat next to you who's teaching, like Usher or something.
The atmosphere in your
place. The atmosphere,
that's one of the best parts of the gym, isn't it?
That when we get feedback, or we ask for people to leave feedback, majority of people always say the atmosphere. Pretty much everybody says the atmosphere. So you want to go to the gym and be wanting to, especially as a professional, like Danny said. But I think someone who fits in, creates a good atmosphere, timekeeping. Willing to learn, passionate about the sport, someone who wants to excel. With the
other businesses now, you've got obviously the same thing though. You've got the is it the carpets thing?
Well, we do anything on finance. We do all household goods.
That's what it is. It's a finance company. And so same with that, where we're building a team with that. So a lot of that's translated over.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like you say, we do flooring, carpet fitters, a nightmare. We've got. I mean, there was one Monday about 8 months ago, and I think about 7 people was off, and it was just like, it's ridiculous, So it's building that team again.
How many is over there?
Well, there's quite a few staff. Is it? Quite a lot, yeah.
What, and 7 of them not turning up on a Monday?
Yeah, 7
people don't see
on
that
a
side
Monday.
of
Yeah, people don't count. Everyone wants to open a bit. Everyone wants to do this, or everyone will say, "Oh, you're doing really well," or but they don't see the stress that you get, or that gets put on your family and stuff like that. And they don't see any of that bit. They don't see you stress taking it home. They don't see you working through the night.
With you starting that business, obviously the carpet business, would you say, now you've started it, you say it's worth it?
It will be. Like if you can open a business and it can help you live comfortably, and you don't need to worry. Go for it. Do it. But obviously,
But obviously, with our businesses, what we're both in, tattooing, my business, boxing, your business, it's because we're passionate about it. It's being successful, and it's enjoyable to do.
When we were setting, I come in as a silent partner. One of my best friends gave me an opportunity, and at first I said no, and then he come back again, and I said yeah. So I've gone in a bit as a silent partner, and I spent a lot of time there at the beginning building it. I was doing a lot of the marketing side and stuff like that. But it's got to a point now where we've got general managers in, my business partners are there daily and so on. So I can concentrate a bit more at the gym again now. Right. But at one point, I was running the gym, and I was running that, and I was doing events, and I've got other things, and it was taking its toll. It does take its toll on you, definitely.
That's why with the kitchen, why I shut the kitchen, I just thought it's not worth the money. Even though it's more money, even though it's it's the reason I opened it. Started to realise it's not all about money. It's more about you can have all the money in the world. You've got no time to spend it. What's the point?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I've learned this definitely myself recently.
Yeah.
And it's all right chasing your dreams. I used to chase money, and I used to chase having a world champion, you know. And like with Luke Blackledge, you know, he was doing really well. He won a Commonwealth title, come from unlicensed boxing. You know, he was doing really well, but I was always pushing and I wanted it more than he did. And it was just a bit like, you know, and then I sat back and I thought, what am I doing? I'm wasting a lot of time and energy. You know, flying out to Germany, flying out to Denmark, and then I just thought, you know, is it worth it? Is it really worth it when I'm not sat down and enjoying myself?
I don't think that'll come for you though. I think that'll come. I think you've got enough good fighters and enough passion about boxing. It'll just naturally come rather than trying to same as
exactly
trying to force a knockout in boxing.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Eventually, that just comes naturally.
No,
someone will come with enough talent and enough. They've got to have as much passion as you have.
Massively.
To make it work.
If you want it more than you fight, you're knackered.
Yeah.
You know, I used to chase everything, but now I thought, you know what, I'm just going to sit back and relax
Enjoy
a bit more.
boxing.
Yeah, and if it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't,
I think it will. I think you've got enough some fighters in there now that have got a good chance of.
You need a bit of luck as well.
Osman's got the talent.
Osman's very good. He just sparred a former world champion this morning. Did 7 good rounds. Looked really
What
good.
about passion and hard work?
Yeah,
he
has. He does really want it. He went through a bad time last year, where he was getting mismanaged a little bit, and you know, he wasn't receiving any money, even though he was getting a lot of sponsorship were going in. He wasn't getting any of it, and you know, his family's not the wealthiest family, and you know, and it was getting him down a lot. You know, he didn't really have any money. He was training hard. He'd had 10 fights and not really got paid, so he was ready to walk away, but he had to go through a tribunal. The manager had to give him his managing contract back. He got signed by Joe Gallagher, and now he's like, everything's so different to last year for him. It's unreal. It's completely different.
How was that as a relationship with him being a manager and a boxing coach? Did you think?
At first, when everyone told me Joe was going to be the manager, I was like, what are you doing? But to be honest, Joe's a very passionate guy. Mm-hmm. You know, and at first I was thinking, he only manages his own fights. He's going to want my fighter. You know, I was a bit like, I was a little bit, what's going on? And no one told me. Yeah, and then they sat me down and told me, and then I had to think about it. I rang Joe up, and I thought, you know what, it's actually a pretty good
Did
move.
you already have a bit of a relationship with Joe?
I knew Joe a little bit. I knew Joe over the years. I remember years ago there was a funny story. It was at Ricky Hatton's gym, and Ricky had just quit. Billy Graham and that had moved out, so no one were really in the gym. So Big Scott was sparring Chris Bacon, a well-known professional from Manchester. So I was up there, and Joe walks in. He's took over the gym, Kerry Casey's, and he's just walked past me. So I'm one of them people. If you don't speak to me, I don't speak to you. You know, I just keep myself to myself.
Was he already a bit of a name by then?
Yeah, he had John Murray and Andy Crawler and that, and he's walked past, and next minute I get a call later on that day off Chris, and then I get a call off Kerry saying like, oh, would you just acknowledge Joe next time you see him, you know? And I was a bit like, you know what, you know, I'm not really done out wrong, but of course I will. And you know, I've always let on to him. I had a chat since, but I've never had a big relationship. But since Ozzy's been sparring more down there with Paul Butler, because it's world class sparring, and Mickey Ellison's sparred Callum Smith down there, and so on.
Opened the door a bit.
Yeah, it's opened the door a bit. Yeah, Joe's keeps his cards close to his chest. He's a one-man team, like you say. Sometimes you need a bit of help, but he tends to do everything himself. But it works for him. He's a good coach. He's had some success.
What, is it just him down there?
It's just him. I was watching him this morning, and I thought he's got Tasha Jones on the sparring, then he's got Liam on the pads, he's got Callum on the bags, and you know, and he's running it all well. You know, he seems to do it, but it must be a lot of stress for him. But he does well.
He uses Amir's gym, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's quite lucky because Amir, I don't know what the costings is, but obviously he just sort of pays a rental fee, I'm presuming.
What, is that still running an amateur gym as well?
Yeah, we went down on Saturday because the lads were sparring Amir, and there was a load of young kids in there. Training on a Saturday afternoon, so it was good to see.
They've got an amateur team.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's fully, you know, if they've got an amateur team out fighting, but they had a loads of kids in Australia.
I always get asked, and I always recommend your place for young kids coming up. I never know.
Yeah,
I send them to you.
Battle's got a good gym. He's brilliant with the kids, Castle Hill.
And is that like what we used to have, where it's almost like a free thing?
Yeah, you've still got to pay £2-3 or something. I mean, ours is a little bit harder, and it's a shame really. But I mean, like when I had Jack and Kieran, I sponsored them because you know, because the fees at our gym is a little bit more. You know, you're paying for a PT type lesson. When we opened the gym, we never wanted to open it for you know, the kids or for out like that. It was just
The business
it was just the business side of it. You know, that's why we took it over. But we opened an amateur team, and some of the lads I've trained over the years, like little Reese and that, I've given sponsorship myself and let them train and stuff.
So if someone, I always send them you anyway, but do you take kids on as an amateur?
Yeah. So
what age?
most our amateur team are kids. So we've got little K who's about 11, 12. They start from around 10-year-old. I don't recommend boxing until they get to about 10.
Really?
Yeah.
What, even training wise?
Yeah. About 8. It puts a lot of stress on your joints and that.
Yeah. Well, I had a choice. You sent to the other day. Someone asked me the best place to take a kid for an amateur. So I said the best to learn boxing is elite. I don't know how they run the amateur team. I don't know if you've been in touch on that, but he was 8.
Yeah, we do get a lot of kids.
What, you take it on at 8?
I'd love to. If I get to a point soon where I could just open the gym and say, kids, come and train it for so much, I want to do that. It's something I've spoken a few times over the years.
I remember our coaches, like Paul, who met Paul, and John. Well, John was paid, I suppose, by the lads club, weren't he?
Yeah.
Paul was
it's voluntary, yeah.
And
yeah.
Jerry, remember Jerry?
Yeah. Jerry voluntary.
Jerry,
They're all it's like
voluntary,
what Tommy's doing now. They're all voluntary coaches, and like I say, I used to teach at lads club and obviously go and do corners and that. But it's very enjoyable. But it's all voluntary work.
And it's a lot of work, isn't it?
It's a lot of work. You know, it's a lot of same again. It takes a lot of stress on your relationship. You know, with your partners and your kids and stuff, because you're busy. You're driving kids around all weekend. Some weekends, you know.
And they've got to work. They're working all day.
And straight to the gym. It's unreal what some of these coaches do.
I mean, look, John, I love John. Obviously, for what he did for us when we were younger, he's got a lot of hate in the business because he's absolutely mental.
Yeah, he's very passionate.
He's because he's so passionate and so outspoken about everything that he's got a lot of haters.
Yeah.
But I love him, mate. I think for one of the best amateur boxing coaches as well. I think.
Yeah, he did good with us.
He's got some good lads, hasn't he? And
yeah.
Boxing wise, I just don't think.
Taught us a lot.
Remember, he used to tell us not to drink water.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, he was old.
He's very old school.
Yeah,
said he was diabetic because the bomb went off. Because the bomb went off there.
Best way to lose weight is just don't drink water. Like, oh, cheers, pal. Dehydrated, so that's every fight.
Yeah,
but like, do you remember when he put me on their mats?
Yeah.
He put us under these mats once, right? I was trying to get weight for a fight. Create our own sauna in the gym. So puts a blue thick mat you get at school, blue mat down, another blue mat over the top of that, over the top of you. You're on the blue mat, then another blue mat over the top of you, or 2 or 3 mats over the top of you, and then everybody's gym clothes. Go and empty the lockers. Everyone's gym clothes on top of the mats. We was underneath that, sweating like mad, and I come out of it, and I must have come out like a stone lighter, you know. And I sat on the edge of the ring, and I started cramping up. But every muscle in my body started cramping. I was that dehydrated. My arms started folding in, my face was cramping up, and I had someone massaging that arm trying to get it back out, and that one had gone straight again and started massaging that one was coming back in like that. I was panicking like mad. Create your own sauna.
I think Matt just lasted about 2 minutes.
Oh, it was horrible.
Yeah,
it was horrible. It was like
just stayed under.
It was mental toughness. Like you could stay under longest, and you didn't want it. You was dying out as soon as you got under because it was disgusting. You couldn't breathe. It was boiling. But you're trying to stay under as long as you could. I did too long and nearly killed myself. But they were good times then, weren't they?
Yeah. You know, like you said, we did drink water. We was undernourished, but you know, we had some of the best lads. We went Denmark, we went Ireland.
We fought some good lads early on.
We
got thrown
we
in
always
the deep
got
end
thrown
with
in. But you know, like you say, it's mental toughness.
I learned loads. I learned loads.
Sink or swim, and that obviously helps us both for later on.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not just boxing; it's in life as well. You know, that mental toughness. It helps you in everything.
We've had some mad stories. Some stories from going Denmark and things. We used to get up in Denmark when we were kids and stuff. Some wild, mad stories. Remember the time when we was up to no good and we was in a house and some lads kicked the door off. You got stabbed up.
No comment.
And I got the nose bit off.
No comment.
We was in the house and I don't know. I told
Danny
you
was
story.
pretending to be asleep.
We were being gangsters, right? we was in this house and door got kicked off. We was in there. 10 big lads came in through the doors. One nearly bit my nose off. Stabbed him in legs. Stabbed all his legs up. It was. We had to tell people that we was out jogging and we got jumped by these travellers tried taking our wallets off. My nose was hanging on by one nostril. His legs was all stabbed up, and I remember was in the hospital beds, and I could just see him through the curtain, like laying back. I could see him through the curtain, and they were like both like laughing at each other in bed, but he was in proper agony. I couldn't even feel my nose. It was weird, and he was like laying on the bed, and I remember the nurse coming in, and she was like, right, I'm gonna have to. I couldn't see her because of the curtain. I could hear her going, right, I'm gonna have to put my finger in this hole, remember? And she put like with her gloves on to see how deep it were where he'd been stabbed. And I remember him screaming like mad, just sticking a finger in this hole.
I was so bad. I couldn't move for about 2 days.
I nearly left. I nearly walked out of the hospital. I thought there's no way they're going to stitch my nose back on anyway, so I'm going to leave. Luckily, I hung around and they stitched it back on, and it made me even more good looking. You can't even tell now. But we had some bad times as kids, didn't we? And to think, I was just when I tagged you on Facebook the other day, I can't remember, something had happened, and I thought, to think back to them. I mean, there were good times, but we were skin. We didn't know what we were going to do with our lives, and to look at us both now, we're both doing well, both successful businesses. Just obviously, there's the downside to having our own businesses and stressful and stuff like that, and obviously time. But to look back, we have done pretty well, haven't we? And I think boxing has been one of the big factors in that. I could recommend anyone getting kids or getting themselves into a boxing gym as a young kid. It's one of them for discipline and learning how hard work pays off. It's been one of the best things, I think, of both getting involved in boxing.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for boxing, I probably wouldn't be. Well, I wouldn't be because I wouldn't have elite.
But even I think boxing, whether you chose to go elite route or not, whether you opened your business, boxing would have had a big factor.
Exactly.
In
so if it weren't for the boxing, I don't think and my life would be completely different. Completely. And like I said, probably same with yours.
I think we have a lot to thank that. Obviously, Paul.
And John and Tommy and Dave Langhorne. Yeah, definitely. You are your surroundings, so luckily, like the lads who I was messing about with when I was growing up in Great Lever and blah blah, I left them behind so I could focus on boxing. And obviously, by doing that, I met some of the best lads I've ever met in the boxing gyms. And you are what your surroundings. So if you hang around with guys who burgle, you're going to burgle and blah blah. So I think the boxing definitely had a massive impact on where I am today.
Same with me. I've got still same friends from school still now. Are still some of my best friends. I don't spend as much time with them because I wanted to go in a different direction. But all the lads at the boxing gym well, not all of us, but the majority of us were very similar minded. We all wanted to go further and change our lives and improve ourselves, and that's so. You'd say become the average of the 5 people you spend most time with. We spent every day together, didn't we? Back in the day. Remember going Malia?
Yeah.
I was just speaking to John was going back to Tenerife, and I was speaking to him today about getting a reunion, going over to Tenerife. I was out with Chris Reardon overnight. I was like, imagine getting a reunion together. All the lads from Malia back in Tenerife.
There's some funny stories in Malia.
I reckon we get a long weekend booked in Tenerife as a reunion. Me, you, Cushy. Remember, what's he called? Big Dave. What was he called? Dave
Anderson. He was from the boxing gym. Chris Eckers were.
Get all them lot back in Tenerife. That would be a top holiday.
They were always good holidays.
Brutal. I used to get beat up. I used to get pissed. Because what we'd do, we'd box all year, so not drink all year, diet like mad, and then go right. Let's go to Malia, and we'd have we'd be pissed out of our minds by 8 o'clock at night, and people were just coming out. We were absolutely steaming by 8 o'clock because we can't wait to drink, and then we'd get out and then we'd be falling all over, spewing up everywhere. People would just be coming out. But there was some good wild holidays then. Right, let's wrap it up there because I need toilet. So anyone wants to check out Elite Boxing, what's the website? eliteboxing.co.uk. Check out the website. I think you're still doing first lesson free.
We offer a first session free just to see if you like the gym, the atmosphere.
You'll not get a better to learn how to box, to lose some weight, just basically to build
meet people.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. To get involved in a community. If you're the type of person that's not got many friends, do you know what I mean? To get down to Elite Boxing, you end up becoming part of the community. That's one of the best parts of the gym, the community. So if you want to check that out, get fit or get your kids down there. Like we said, there's nothing better than getting involved in boxing as a kid. got me off. Didn't stop me getting in too much trouble. I still ended up with jail in the end. But I think
got you in less trouble.
Yeah, it got me in a lot. It saved my life a lot in a lot of ways. I've been boxing. So eliteboxing.co.uk. Right, Matt. Nice one, pal.
Cheers, pal. Thank you.
See you later.